Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to be having a little bit of a mini workshop on how to kind of up-level our LinkedIn profiles. So Wendy has generously offered to spend a little bit of time to teach us what she thinks about how to go ahead and make our profiles more, I don't know, what would you say, more appropriate, more
They stand out in the
this.
crowd.
Okay, perfect. So, Wendy, go ahead and take it away.
Just for a quick introduction, my name is Wendy Manganaro, and I am the owner and founder of Social Abundance Marketing. It's August will be 8 years. It's hard to believe that I have done something consistently for 8 years, other than mothering my son for 14, and he's still alive. So, you know, these are things that I go for. Anyway, but I'm really excited. I have been doing LinkedIn trainings for probably, I really got into LinkedIn, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, actually. I was really more into Facebook, and that's a whole nother training for a whole nother day. But LinkedIn, because I was working with more professional companies as my business grew, I had to start training people on LinkedIn because I was working with recruiters, actually teaching them how to use Sales Navigator and LinkedIn for recruiting, probably 3 years into my business. So, and what I taught then, somewhat similar to what I teach now, but it keeps changing like any other platform. For a while, I gave up on LinkedIn and thought, like, this is not even worth it because it's a big piece of Microsoft Word now, and I wasn't very excited about it. But then COVID-19 happened, and I think, if I remember, I have to pull up the numbers, but I think there's about 6 million people. Half of those people are actively using it right now during this pandemic. It has been the way to reach out. A lot of people think that it's just for jobs. I don't necessarily agree to that. I think it's a great way to really find and talk to your target market, those you want to. I use it to find customers, but I also use it to find referral partners. And that has been probably my greatest success in that is customers will come from it. It takes a little bit longer. You have to really work at it, but really I've found some great referral partners that have helped me because now I'm in the right niche with it. So I'm going to share my screen, and I told Jessica that I would look at hers, but we're going to look at mine just for a second. So I was looking to make sure that it was all done. I even updated mine recently. So if you were on the call a few weeks ago, you've learned that I've worked with doctors and dentists and medical facilities for years, but I would never fully commit there because, but the reality is that's who I work with. So there's a few things. One, I encourage you to go and make many connections during this time inside your target market, and we'll talk about what that looks like in a couple minutes. But we're going to quickly go through some things that are necessary on a profile. We'll use mine as a quick example, and then we're going to go over to Jessica's and kind of really help her piece together what needs to happen. So just the basics. One is, and like anywhere else, a cover photo is a must. Your cover photo, like Facebook's, should represent what you did. And I just want you to know, because I hadn't updated my cover photo in a while, this gave me a kick in the pants, and I had this created. Well, this came Friday. So I was like, I need this done for next week. But so anyway, but it should give it an idea about what you do. So if you speak, I saw Jessica, she sews, it should have something to do it. But I would encourage you, if you work for a company, you don't want to make that whole branding here, but you do want to put your company name on it somewhere so that there is a relationship, because unlike your business profile, your profile picture should be you. Should not be your logo here or anything. It should be you. So having your company name on your cover photo, just for a branding standpoint, and then like to represent what you do, is really important on LinkedIn. The next part you'll see is, and this is probably, so for me, LinkedIn's always been about search engine optimization. Because if you ever notice that you go to Google someone or you go to Google certain things, LinkedIn a lot of times will come up right on the top of that Google search, but not if you are not, if your words on your LinkedIn don't match what you do, you're not going to come up. So I think it's really important to be, and please note that mine's going to be a little bit different because I do have Sales Navigator, but people want to know what you do. A lot of times people will write exactly what they do. They'll write accountant, or they'll write coach, or they'll write, they just, and they don't put anything, and you need those words, but what's more important is that people want a quick purview of the results here. So if you notice, I changed my head. I work with doctors and dentists, so I do want to come up in doctors and dentists search, but I also want to let them know that I work in social media and what I do. So if you can, within a brief sentence, tell people who you work with, what you do, and the result, that is the goal of that first line. And that will help you with SEO. The next thing under that, which is really, really important, is a lot of people don't realize that, like many platforms, LinkedIn wants you to connect with people. And so in order for you to connect with people, I encourage you to make time. If you don't have to take a lot of time, but I would encourage you to connect with 25 people a day, especially during this time. Now, don't just connect with people because they send you a connection. That is not what this is about. This is about people who would primarily be in with those that you want to work with those that you would like to partner with to get referrals. So similar, kind of like what we do at Rising Tide. We may work in congruency together, even though, because we can kind of be referral partners, that kind of thing. Your aim is not to get a sale from the first time you connect. Your aim is to build a relationship. It is still a social platform, but it is a business one. The next thing I would do is make sure that you have your services provided here, because if people don't know what you do, and that's why you no longer have to put it directly, all of the service you provide in your statement, you can add them here. And the other thing that's really important is I just want to show you this. When you have contact information, many people don't fill it out all the way. And the reason why I encourage you to fill it all out, other than putting your address, your physical address on here, if you want to be found and connected with, and you make it so hard on LinkedIn to connect, which is the business hub, it defeats the purpose. So make sure your